Welcome to SethCraft. I'm currently building a 20 by 30 workshop, and I have sectioned off my building into 3 different rooms. In order to isolate those rooms, I'm building doors to fit into these openings here. So, for example, here is one door that I have built. You can see it is installed and working quite nice. So, in today's video, we're going to build this door and get it hung over here on my other opening. So, let's go ahead and get started. The first step into building one of these doors is to get the dimensions of my door opening. So what I have across here is 35 3/4, and then the height here, I've got 80 inch. So I'm going to be removing a 1/4 inch off of those dimensions and actually a 1/2 inch from the height in order to fit this in properly and not have the door rub against the floor or up here at all. So let's go ahead and cut our materials to fit these dimensions. For the sides of the door, I have an 8-foot 2x6 and an 8-foot 2x4, and I want to cut both of these down to 79.5 inches, and that will be what I need for the height of this door. Now it's time to cut the boards for the top and bottom. Now normally I would use a 2x4 for both of those, but I had this scrap piece of 2x6. The width of our door needs to be cut at 35.5, but remember we have a 2x4 going on one side and a 2x6 on the other, which means I need to cut these two boards at 26.5 because a 2x4 is actually 3.5 inches, a 2x6 is actually 5.5, and that's where that difference comes from. So we need to measure these out at 26.5. In order to get the bottom and top boards connected to the side boards, I'm going to be using the pocket hole jig from Craig, and that puts a very steep angled hole into the wood so that I can use some pocket screws and it will attach these pieces together. To do that, I just simply take the bottom or top board, place it into the jig here, and then I clamp that down, and then I'm going to use a drill to put a hole in this angle here. So let me show you that real quick. If you've never used the pocket hole jig, I highly recommend them. They are very convenient for doing this kind of joinery. Just got my drill here, and I drill this very steep hole. Whenever I pop this out of here, you'll be able to see those 3 holes right there are drilled very steep. So after that side's been done, I'm going to flip this over, put it back in the jig, and do the other side. Just line that up in the middle, clamp that down, and put some more holes. There we go. I'm going to do the same on this short piece of 2x6. Now to get the frame of this door put together, I'm going to use my sawhorses, put my 2x6 and my 2x4 at the very end, and then place the 26.5 inch board in between. And that way I can then use some clamps to get this put together. So I've got this one big clamp here, and I find that to be sufficient to hold this in place while I put those screws in. Now I'm going to be using plywood on the outside of this door, and so once that's installed, everything is going to be very well secured, so don't worry about just how tight these pocket screws are going to hold everything together. I'm using these 2.5 inch pocket hole screws. They are designed to be used indoor and have a square head on them. And the bit that comes with this unit has the square on it right there. And so I'm just going to angle this nice and steep until that bottoms out. And I'm going to put a total of 12 of these screws, 3 on each corner. All right, the process is going to be the same on the other 3 corners. I will bring you back whenever I have all of these done. The frame of the door is now complete. It's time to cut out the plywood pieces that will go on both sides of this door. So if I take my tape measure, just to check, we do have 35.5, which we had planned out. And then of course this one up here is 79.5. So let's go ahead and cut 2 pieces of 1/2-inch plywood to go on both sides of this with these dimensions. This direction needs 79.5 inches, and then in this direction I need 35.5. I like to use a straight edge to connect my lines here and draw out my cut. I've placed the frame back up here, and I'm going to be putting the plywood on top so that we can screw this down, and that will really lock in this frame so it won't be falling apart on us. So what I want to do is just make sure I line up each corner so that they are all flush. In order to attach the plywood to the frame underneath, I'm using these 1.25 inch screws. And I'm just going to go along here every 8 to 10 inches and put one of these in, and that will keep the plywood against the frame. I now put screws all around the perimeter of the plywood, and it is looking pretty good. So now it's time to flip this over and put some insulation in here. Now the insulation is 100% not required, but I already have that and thought, you know what, since I make videos, it would be nice to have some insulation in here for sound reasons. And so what I'm going to use is this 1-inch foam insulation. It's a rigid foam, and it will just be cut to fit in here. And so what I want to do is make sure that I have 26.5 inches marked out. So I'm going to use my tape measure to measure across here, 26.5. Move over here and do the same. And I can use my same straight edge as before. Match these lines up. Draw that out. And I'm going to use a razor knife to cut this in half. I found that if I score this once, following my line, come back a second time and go a lot deeper, I can then pop this and it should pop pretty smooth. There we go. And I just take that, press it into that door cavity, just like that. And then I will continue to do that until I have all of this filled up. Now that I have the foam board inside of the door cavity, it's time to put the other piece of plywood on top, and that will be screwed in just like the other side was. Go ahead and get that placed down here. Now one thing to keep in mind, at about the 41 inch up from the bottom, the door handle will be placed in here, so I don't want to put any screws in that location. Other than that, it's fair game to lock this down however I see fit. Now that I have the plywood on the top side of the door, it's time to get the handle started. So I've got a box over here with the handle, and right where this gap in the screws is located will be where this handle goes. So what I want to do is first measure out 41 inches up from the bottom, just to be consistent with my other handles here, and that will be where this goes. Inside of my handle kit, there is a template which will allow me to properly mark out the location of this handle. And so, well, first of all, I make sure that I've got my 2x6 on this side, and that gives me enough space to put this handle in here. On my template, I need to line this up with the edge right here, and I've got my mark right there, and I'm going to be using the second step right here. And so what I want to do is make a mark in the wood that right there is the point where I'm going to be drilling into. Now these door handles require a 2 1/8 inch hole to be drilled into the door. However, the 2 sheets of 1/2-inch plywood are so thick that this handle would not properly reach all the way through. And so I am going to be using this hole saw right here to essentially recess this handle a little bit into the plywood. And to do that, just got my hole saw, and I'm going to use this just to go through the plywood, and then we'll swap over to the appropriate 2 1/8 inch hole saw to get all the way through the rest of this. Now that I have that cut through, I'm going to swap out here to the 2 1/8 inch hole saw. Now right before I get all the way through, I'm going to flip the door over and use this other bigger hole saw to pull off the other side. Now that I have the proper size hole drilled into the door, it's time to get the hole drilled on this side. So what I like to do is match up the edge right here and just make a mark on the side. And I move over here and do that again. Make a mark right there. And I can check this and say, all right, I've got 3 inches between there. And so I can move right here and mark the center point of those 2. And that is where I need to drill in with my 1-inch drill bit. I have a 1-inch wood bit here that I'm going to put right on the center of that line and drill straight through to connect both sides of this. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to take this bolt here and place this down into the door, and I want to center that, and then I'm going to take a pencil and I want to trace this out because I'm going to use the router to sink this down a little bit to give it enough clearance. Okay, there we go. Use a router to cut that out, and it will be the depth of this metal plate right here. I've set the depth of my router to the depth that I need. Now if you don't have a router, feel free to use a chisel and a hammer here, and it will be just as effective. Okay, that's going to fit in there nicely. The hole for the handle is done for the moment. I have flipped the door to the other side because it's time to start working with the hinges. I picked up a package of 3 hinge from my local hardware store. And so this is the face that's going to be out towards the big room. And that means I'm going to have these hinges here with the pin facing upwards. And so what I want to do is have these open like this, and I want to attach them into the door. But before I do that, I'm going to measure around the hinge and then use the router to sink these in a bit because I want this door to have a pretty tight fit here in my opening. I'm going to measure 1 foot up from the bottom down here and make a mark, and that's where my hinge is going to go. So I've got the pin head facing up like this right here. Now I can fold the hinge down, and that flat surface will give me the spot that I need to get this pencil mark here. So I'm just going to draw out this hinge, and that will provide where I need to route out. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and move 1 foot down from the other end, put one there, and then I'm going to go to the middle, which is approximately 40 inches, and we will just put a mark here, and I will continue down the line getting these marked out here. I have the depth of the router set to the hinge material right here, and so I just need to route out where it was marked previously. Now that I have all of these rounded out, it's time to install the hinges. I'm going to make sure that I get this lined up. I'm going to hold the flap over here against the flat surface of the door, and that will make sure that this doesn't go anywhere as far as being off center. So I'm just going to place a screw right there in the center of one of the holes and then get that tightened down. Now I'm putting these on the door itself first, and I'll show you why here in just a moment when I go to hang this up on the frame. I've placed a couple pieces of wire down here on the floor, and that's going to act as a spacer to keep this from being on the ground. So now I just want to set this heavy door on top of that wire. Now that I have the door in place, I'm going to use a pencil to mark around the hinges, and I need to use the router again to make sure I sink that hinge location in so this door will mount flush. I got the hinges attached without you because it's kind of tedious. What I did was use a couple pieces of this scrap wire to lift the door up off of the floor and then put some screws in there. So you can see it makes a really good close fit over here, and I'm able to swing this, and as far as fitting into the space goes, it's got a little bit of a gap all the way around, which will be helpful for keeping this door in place. But there we go. Let's go ahead and finish putting these screws in to these hinges, and then we will move on to the handle to get that wrapped up as well. Now it's time to get this doorknob installed. I'm going to get this piece in here first. Just slip this in with the piece that folds down in this direction. Got a couple of screws here. I'm going to get those attached. Now that I have this piece installed, I'm going to get the handle installed. So in order to do that, I need to press this end into this spot right here. And then over here, I'll have this part of the handle fit on the opposite side. And then there are just two screws that will connect these two pieces together. Now the last thing to install is the strike plate, and you can see where the door was rubbing right here, so that's a good indicator of where this needs to go. So I'm going to be drilling a 1-inch hole and placing this right here, and that's what's going to stop this door from going too far in or being able to swing back out. So let's go ahead and drill that hole. Okay, let's see how we did here. Will this door click? Yep, very nice. Good smooth install. The custom do-it-yourself door has now been built and installed. It's a pretty good fit. I'm liking the results. So handle's working well, opens up fine, and then catches whenever you close it. You can go on this side and do the same. Very good. I guess we can step back on this side and see how we did on the fit. So that's a nice straight line going down there. And the amount of space we have up top here is sufficient and pretty consistent along there as well. The clearance on the bottom is pretty close. I used 2 pieces of wire, but I think that is going to be able to clear everything there. Will that hit? Nope, it's got about 1/4 inch from hitting there. So I can keep this door stored here on the side most of the time until I need to have quietness in that room over there. Now I'm going to paint this white to match the rest of the walls, and I'll put some trim on here, but for now, this door is done. Well, you might be thinking that was a lot of work to put a door into this workshop, and it really was. However, if you have a odd-shaped door opening and need to build your own door, this might be a practical way of making a DIY door. So if you've enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed for more content. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I am building a 20 by 30 workshop, and this is just one step in this build. So definitely stay tuned for the next part, and you can see me build this place from start to finish if you check out the other videos on the channel. I'm Seth with the SethCraft Workshop, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.